Hey folks, gather round and let me tell you about the night I encountered the Mothman. I never believed in legends, especially not ones as strange as this, until that chilling evening. It was a crisp autumn night in Point Pleasant, West Virginia. My friends and I had heard the tales, the stories whispered by locals about the ominous creature that had been haunting this town for decades, the Mothman. We laughed it off, thinking it was just a way to spook tourists, but we couldn't resist investigating the old abandoned factory near the TNT area, a place where many sightings were reported. The moon hung low, casting eerie shadows over the decaying buildings. We entered the factory with flashlights in hand, our hearts pounding with both fear and excitement. Our laughter and bravado slowly faded as we ventured deeper into the dark, graffiti-covered labyrinth. That's when we heard it. A rustling sound like massive wings unfurling. We froze, our flashlight beams quivering as we scanned the room. In the dim light, I caught a glimpse of something enormous perched high on a steel beam, its eyes glowing like crimson embers. It was the Mothman, its grotesque form barely distinguishable in the darkness. Fear washed over us, and our instincts kicked in. We turned to run, but the creature descended with astonishing speed, landing on the floor with a thud that reverberated through our bones. Its wingspan was immense, and its eyes locked onto ours, emitting a malevolent, otherworldly energy. In that moment, we couldn't move. We were paralyzed by a profound sense of dread as the Mothman slowly approached, its eyes never leaving ours. I could hear my friends whimpering, unable to tear their gazes away from those soul-piercing eyes. The Mothman was only inches away when a deafening scream echoed through the factory. It wasn't the Mothman's scream, but something else, something far more terrifying. With a violent motion, the creature turned and took flight, disappearing into the shadows. We snapped out of our trance and bolted out of the factory, never looking back. We didn't stop running until we reached the safety of our car. It was then that we realized one of our friends was missing. We waited in fear-stricken silence until we heard his shaky voice over the radio, saying he had found his way out, but he'd seen something that still haunted his nightmares. That night changed us forever. We had scoffed at the legend of the Mothman, but we had come face to face with something inexplicable and horrifying. We knew that no one would ever believe our story, but we also knew the truth. The Mothman was real, and it was out there, lurking in the darkness, waiting for its next encounter. So, my friends, if you ever find yourself in Point Pleasant, be cautious. The Mothman may be a legend, but legends often have a kernel of truth, and you might just find yourself believing in the unbelievable.